Welcome everyone to the Laredo College Alumni Series. Today we're here with Officer Roberto Vedia, a proud Laredo College alumnus who has served for Laredo PD for more than 17 years, 14 years in the patrol unit and 3 more in the community relations unit. Roberto, how are you doing today?
Good. Thank you for having us.
Thank you for accepting the invitation. So we want to start off by having you tell us a little bit about yourself and how your journey at Laredo College began.
Well, my journey began like any other, high school graduate here, right? I enlisted in the Marine Corps. I was ready to go to the Marine Corps. And then I guess God had different plans for me. I got sick, ended up on dialysis. I didn't get to go. And what other option was there? So you're young, you don't know what to do with lives, because your plans got, out of line. So you know what? Let me start coaching, So I took kinesiology courses. I'm like, you know what? I'm on dialysis. I'm taking courses. Maybe not. So you know what? Maybe X-ray tech in the medical field. So I started doing the medical field. I took photography, and I was like, oh, you know what? Let me tone it down a bit. Let me rest up. Let me go recuperate. And but yeah, I didn't know what to do. I was kind of lost. And then I saw the police academy was here at the college in Laredo South later on. And I applied through the civil service exam. I did my whole thing. And luckily, I got selected. And I went to the academy. Yeah, I went to the academy here at the Laredo College South. No one knew I was on dialysis till like after the midterms. I like to keep that quiet. I didn't want to get any special treatment or anything like that.
Of course.
So yeah, I busted my butt, studied, went to my treatments, got out in the morning, did it all over again. And then in my midterms, I passed everything. That's when, it's like, hey, why didn't you tell us, why you were on dialysis? It's like, well, I didn't need any special treatment. I just did what I had to do, get it done, and move on forward. And yeah, I did 14 years out on the streets. I've seen the worst parts of humanity and the best parts of humanity. And we are there for our community. We are there to help, facilitate, and encourage people to do better than what they did before. But yeah, after 14 years on patrol, I decided to do something a little bit more different, a little bit more, get out of the little, I got out of the streets and something a little bit more fun. So I ended up with the community relations unit. I helped out McGruff, and I helped out Blue Santa. We have a good team at our department. My fellow partners out there, they're the best. We help each other. And yeah, it's 17 years total in my career. I don't know, 20 sounds tempting to retire, but no, I think I might do 25.
You might stay more?
Yeah, I might stay a little bit more.
Hey, that means you love what you do.
Yep. And continuing education, right? It's part of life. You always want to learn new things. So I started taking, maybe I need to get into my EMT certification. So I took some online courses here at Laredo College for medical terminology, and I forgot the other requirement. And but work is very demanding, so I put that on hold for now. And hopefully the following semester, maybe January 2027, I might continue with my EMT certificate.
So can you tell us a little bit more about your journey to become an officer at Laredo PD, more about the application, the academy, all the way until graduation?
Sure. So it starts off like anything else. It's information. So back in the day, I believe it was 2009, I was working for the school district. And I saw the application, I believe on a gym wall. So what do I have to lose? I applied for CBP, BP, I passed their test, but due to my condition, they couldn't get me. So I was like, what do I have to lose? They're going to say no? Okay, fine. So, I signed up, I took the test, you pass the civil service exam, then you do your PT portion, your mile-and-a-half run, your sit-ups, your push-ups, and a little obstacle course. So yeah, I passed that, and then they give you a whole bunch of forms, and then go see a doctor. Okay, so here we go, right? So he's gonna say no. So there I go to the doctor, I do my exam, my hearing exam, pass everything, and then he suddenly gives me a little cup. I need you to pee in this cup. Well, and I can't really fill this up. I was trying to explain to him, and then he goes, what do you mean you can't explain? And before I tell him, he cuts me off. No, no, no. I need you to pee in this cup, but no buts. If you can't pee in this cup, I'm gonna disqualify you right now. But I need a no. Are you dirty? He goes like, I'm not dirty. You're gonna pee dirty, right? That's why you're hesitating. Oh my God. You know what? I'm gonna cut you off. Let me go to the restroom. So I'm there. I'm with my cup.
Focusing.
Yeah, focusing, right? And I don't know how, but I managed to very minimal on the cup, and I turned in that urine sample. He sees it. Oh, nah, you're dirty, man. You're dirty. I'm like, I'm not dirty. I'm not dirty. Before I explain, he leaves, and then he comes back, and then he comes back with the helper comes back with the doctor and goes, Mr. Vedia, I need you to take a seat. Okay. I don't know how to tell you this, but it looks like you may be in renal failure. That's what I'm trying to tell you, but you guys keep, cutting me off. And what do you mean? Like, yes, like, so you're on dialysis? Yes, I'm on dialysis. I've been trying to explain this, but, I was cut off. Well, you passed all your requirements? Yes. Well, you know what? Go to your primary care physician, your nephrologist. If he gives me an okay, I'll sign off on it. All right. So I go to my doctor, I explain the situation, explain him, because he's known me for a while now. And he goes, Mr. Vedia, I know you're strong. I know you're capable. I know you're young because I was young when I got diagnosed. And he goes, are you sure you want to do this? Because I believe in you, but I just need all the charts point that yes, you can do it. But do you really want this? Like, yes. Okay, you got my blessing. He signs it. Thank you, Adolfo Garcia. And then I go back to the doctor, give him, okay, he says yes, gives me the okay, boom. I turn in all the forms. Once you turn in your forms, you take a psychological, you do their backgrounds, of course. You go to an interview board. You answer any questions to the best of your ability, and then you're taken outside where they will go ahead now and decide, And then, I got chosen to go to the academy. From there, I go to the academy, and it's very demanding. You have to be on time, of course, like anything else. Of course. And you do all your courses, your spelling, your laws, your law updates. You go and not just a class, but it's a camaraderie because everyone wants to get the same goal. And the same goal is to get that peace officer license that the college is offering. And once you go through the training, once you go through everything, and it's going to be sad to see because some of them have other commitments. They have family, or they can't keep up with their grades, and unfortunately, they have to fall out.
Yeah.
And it hurts because, like, man, I've been with this guy for a few months now. He's been wanting it, but life happens. And then finally, after the midterms, we do our tactics, we train, and then we take the test, the state exam, and you pass the state exam, and you get your peace officer license. And then after you get after you do your graduation here at the college, then you're taken for more training at the station, which is the in-service training, policies and procedures, more in-depth tactics on the CAD or the MCT. Now it's the Tyler system, which is the computer in the patrol car. Uniform, formalities, greeting of the days, more on constitutional rights and further laws, because every 2 years the law updates. Yeah. And you have to keep on with it. And of course your physical, your stamina, and maintain your condition. So, but yeah, it's been a good, rewarding career. So.
And what's the hardest part about the academy? Like the toughest?
For me personally, the toughest part of the academy was staying awake. Traffic law. Oh my gosh, man, yeah. Traffic law. You're like, okay, they have to go through everything. And you're like, all you have
one
to
eye open and one closed, right?
Yes, and all you have is just water, because you try and stay away from the caffeine because you don't want extra, Mm-hmm. So just water, stay awake, take your notes, and then know exactly what is going to be on that test. Yeah. But yeah, other than that, imagine. if you're in condition, if you feel you can do it, it will be. It's not going to be easy, but you're going to do a lot better than anyone else who's not prepared.
And did you got tased?
Of course, man, I got tased.
It's part of the process, right?
It's part of the process. You're going to get maced.
Okay.
You're going to go ahead and do hand-to-hand combat skills. They're going to teach you that. They're going to teach you how to use a baton. course your firearms. You're going to be shooting your firearms. You're going to be teaching you close quarter combats. What else? A whole bunch of stuff. And the most important stuff is your verbal skills, how to talk to people.
Yeah.
You can't just remember, you're going into someone's home. That's their sanctuary. All right? When we get called to a call, people are not having a good day. All right? Something bad happened, something traumatic happened. Or you know what? Maybe they're just tired of their neighbor. You don't know. So you have to be aware of your surroundings at all times, but also be mindful and respectful. You know, that this is their home. This is their sanctuary. This is where, from all the hectic things in life, they come to their home to have some peace. But sometimes peace doesn't follow them to their home. Sometimes, you know, life happens.
Yes.
So, but yeah.
And once you first graduate, when you're a recent graduate, you know, a rookie, what are some of the first duties and responsibilities that you are in charge of? Or do you start as any other officer, no matter the experience?
So let's say you do all your in-service training, you still have your FTO phase. You will have a field training officer. You're going to be driving, and they're going to be guiding you. They're going to be telling you their tips. They're going to be telling you what they experienced, what to be aware of, certain tricks that the CAD may have, system errors, how to write a report properly, and they're going to be testing you. They're going to be quizzing you while you're driving. Okay, what street did we just pass? Okay, what vehicle just passed a red light? You know, how many passengers are in that vehicle? So it's not just, here you go, there are the keys, go out and patrol. No, there's a series of more steps. So.
All right. And what inspired you to follow this law enforcement career?
I didn't want to starve. No.
No.
No. Ever since I was small, I always had a willing to serve. I didn't get to serve in the Marines, but you know what? I still wanted to serve. So yeah, I became a police officer, but I still have a willingness to serve. So I enlisted in the State Guard. So it's a Texas Military Department. So I continue to serve in that way.
Oh, okay.
So I'm still trying to stay active.
Yeah. So since you were a kid, you more or less already know. Yeah, I can see. And what was a typical day when you were in the patrol unit? How did it look like?
Typical day in the patrol unit. It depends, because over the years, the department has evolved way better. From when I got in there, they were barely transitioning from writing reports on paper to the system. And everything was through maps if you didn't know a street. So, but once they had that computer in there, it started to get a little bit better. And over time, now we have
Google Maps.
Google Maps. Yeah. You have the maps on the actual CAD system. You need assistance. Now we have those unmanned aerial vehicles. Our radios there's a lot that goes into the department.
A lot more of equipment and technology, yes. I believe.
But the average day for a patrol officer, I would say, was come in on duty, you go into a quick briefing. You're going to get your assignments. You're going to be getting issued your car. Get in your car, turn it on, load up, sign up. Because as soon as you sign up, there's going to be pending calls.
Yeah.
Because the other officers are still out in the streets taking care of other things. So as soon as you turn on that computer and you say you're in service, you're going to get a call right away. And it could be an accident, to a fist fight, to just, hey, you know what, the dog keeps barking late at night. So it could be it's a roll of the dice, right? It's whatever the call or the citizen feels that they need an officer out there, that we're going to get called out there.
And how is it different now that you're in the community relations office?
So community relations, it plays a big deal with law enforcement, because how do we know where the bad things are happening? How do we know where crime is happening if we don't get the input from our citizens? I believe JFK said, quoted, don't quote me word per word, but it goes in along the same way as society will benefit. The people. Well, we'll Google it later, right? So, but if the citizen does not put their part in helping us help them, how can we make this community better?
Correct.
For CRU, community relations is to bridge that gap between law enforcement and the citizens. Let them know we are here to help. And there's a lot of services available, from family violence to crime victims compensation. And that's there to help the citizens in a very traumatic time in their lives. And we are there, and we start off with the young ones, right? With McGruff, say no to drugs, say no to strangers, say no to bullying, right? And how do we keep them engaged? We do a whole play. We do a whole, it's about 45 minutes to about 50 minutes. And we do dancing, we do lights, we do choreography. We bring the kids up with their teachers, keep them engaged.
Yeah.
And that's how you keep them engaged and their minds focused on stage. Like, what are they talking about? And what are they saying? And then, of course, we do class pictures at the end so they can have a core memory, right, when they get older.
Of course, yeah.
And we also do our Blue Santa toy distribution. And what we do there is we serve our citizens who are underprivileged, children especially, from newborns all the way to the age of 10. And sometimes they don't have a Christmas, or sometimes they don't have money for a present, or whatever the case is.
Yeah.
It doesn't even have to be a kid from Laredo. It could be, Vida en las Colonias, or, they're maybe El Cenizo or Rio Bravo. Hey, they want to send up for a kid. We're not going to say no to them. They're in need. They're family in need. Hey, come on down. Hey, sign up. And whatever toys we have, we'll try and get you something. And that way, they'll take a photo with Santa. They'll get their bag of toys.
That experience.
Yes. So that no child should be left out of an experience like that.
Yeah,
So.
I love that. Now, Roberto, in your 17 years as an officer, what was, the most memorable experience or case, that you have had? Of course, without disclosing any confidential information, but what was it and what made it so special?
Special? There's several, but there's been several, but I don't think the most I've had was very, very very rough situations. Yes, but I remember this one kid. They had one of those outdoor pools. And he was special needs, so they had him on a floater, and he was laying down. So they're cooking, like, this is the meat, and the pool's right here. So that split second, he just goes in, and then when they grab him out, and they have him face up, and he's trying to gas. They took him out. By the time we got there, they took him out, and he's trying to gasp for air. So I see what's going on. I see the water. I see him. He's wet. So I just grab him and I put him in the resting position, and I start on his back trying to get that water out. Sure enough, I have his head here, and he just vomits all the water and whatever he was eating on my arm. And then he starts gasping, like, hey man, you're good, estás bien. Trying to assure them that we're here to help.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if it was the brother or the father, but he was grateful. Thank you, sir, thank you. Another one is high fever, 105. We get called for unknown traffic. We get there because there's a lot of screaming, and they have that child, and he's burning up, like really burning up. And their parents are new parents. They don't know what's going on. They're alone, and it's like, hey, you need to cool this baby down quick, and shaking uncontrollably, and just get me a wet towel. All right, don't put cold water. Just get the tibia, just normal running water. Get it wet. Bring it here. We'll go ahead and place it on his forehead. Try and get that core temperature down. And sure enough, yeah, he wasn't like shaking anymore. He just chilled. EMT got there. They took him, and they did what they had to do. So yeah, that's
I believe that those moments are what really makes it worth it, right?
Yes.
And how do you handle those tough days? All of those feelings that you have from watching all of these things happening, going on. Because as you mentioned, when you get called up, it's because something mostly bad is happening, and then you gotta go home. How do you handle that work-life balance?
So that's one thing that we're taught. Like, this profession is not for everyone, and unfortunately, most in our profession, it's a high rate of self-harm. Why? Because we don't like to talk about it. There's too much machismo. There's whatever the case is. We tend to keep it within ourselves because we don't want to take that home, and for your little ones, you see that little kid out on the street, and then you come home and you see your little ones, you're like, oh, it hurts right here, right? But for me, I go to the gym. I go to the gym. Yeah, I don't drink. I don't smoke. Um, I try and stay active. Like I told you, I try and serve. Like I'm in the guard. I do community outreach. People need to talk. I listen, and then I give, what I would do in that situation. I
Your
would tell them
advice.
if I were in that situation, this is what I would do. But if you have a commitment to serve, to do well, to have a better place for your children to grow up in, this is a very rewarding career. All right. Doesn't matter, you know, it doesn't matter like how in the streets, like, I don't know how to word it, but it wouldn't matter how much you've been through. There's always going to be another group of people ready that need help, and you got to be ready to act on it.
To go help them. Do you feel like that's the biggest challenge for police officers to keep that work-life balance?
Yes, and a lot of it stems community support. So a lot of times, there's a stigma out there. Don't talk to the police, or no, pórtate bien, behave or the police will take you, or we don't want that. We want to make sure if you need help, come to us. If you're lost, you're afraid, or you're being bullied, come to us. We're here to help you. Great. So we want to bridge that gap and make sure we serve the community in a very positive and very productive manner.
And how do you feel that Laredo College prepared you for the position that you currently have?
So the training, I remember our instructors there at the college, they would tell us, prepare yourselves. Not all the calls are going to be the same. You're going to be vilified. You're going to be called heroes. You're going to be called all names in the book, because again, no one likes to be told what to do, what they can't do, and it's human nature. They go, just prepare yourself. This career is not for everyone, but if you want to stick here, this is a very rewarding career. And the college prepared me, and our training, our knowledge with the law, the constitutional rights, those are very important. A lot of people tend to think that we don't value no, that piece of paper that's 250 plus years old, we take that to heart. Our Bill of Rights, our amendments, our videos, our training videos, like, hey, you'll see something drastic. This happens to this officer because they got complacent, or se les hizo fácil. It was easy just to go this way, and this is what ended up happening. So yeah, they prepare us and to be most physically and mentally prepared.
Thank you so much, Roberto, for sharing that. Mm-hmm. Now, I would like you to share some words of wisdom and advice for our current students and alums that want to, follow this kind of career. So could you please start by telling us more or less what are the qualities that someone need to become an officer? Is it just the physicality? Is it intelligence, stamina? What do you believe are the best qualities?
Best qualities, of course, is a little bit of everything. But first and foremost is de-escalation. All right. A lot of people think, brawn and bro. No. The first and foremost thing is respect. All right. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, ma'am. My name is Officer Roberto Vedia with the Laredo Police Department. The reason I'm here, or the reason I'm pulling you over, is you stopped that stop sign. Hey, the reason I'm here is because we got called because of a loud music complaint, or you know what? We got called in because someone was afraid something happened in this home. There's a lot of screaming, there's shouting, and I can see there's a lot of objects inside the home that are broken, sir. I'm just here to help, make sure everyone's okay. Can you please step outside for me? It's the way you talk and announce yourself and you meet someone. Now, of course, if you have to go, a degree higher because they're not compliant, of course. But you always want to start off with respect, your presence. How do you look? How do you present yourself when you're talking to someone? And of course, yes, you will be running, and then you'll be pushing, lifting, or taking a person down. But you have to do it in a way which is in compliance with the law.
Yeah,
so first and foremost, I'd say it's your mental fortitude. And are you going to be prepared to take it to the next step if you have to? But the first and foremost thing is your stoicism.
Of course. And what advice would you give to these students and alum that would like to pursue a career in law enforcement? What's something that you would have liked to know before going in?
Man, the one thing I would have liked to learn or know before going into law enforcement was your first year, right? You're going to be tested not only by the public, but by your fellow officers. Why? Because one, they're depending on you too. They want to go home too. They want to make sure they finish that call, or help that citizen. All right. They want to make sure you know how to direct traffic, be aware of surroundings. So they're not only is the street's going to test you, but the department's going to test you. Make sure you are good to go and you're scored away. If they have any questions, or if you have any dudas or doubts, right? I go Tex-Mex here, right? If you see me out in the streets or in the gym, let me know. Hey, I want to be a police. And it's happened before. They see me before. Hey, I have a question. Or, how do you do this? And how do you do that? And I'm the type of guy that will go to the gym and wear funny shirts just to
mess around.
Yeah, just to make them smile, because the gym is a very solemn place. People go there because one, they get their hearts broken, right, or they're going through something traumatic. And I'll wear a silly shirt here and there, and just to brighten their smile. And they'll come up to me. Hey, I always want to be a police officer. Okay, so this is what it takes.
Yeah.
And but your rookie year, you're going to be tested. That's what one advice is. Don't take it personal. Remember, you are in charge of their lives just like they are in charge of your lives to get home.
Of course. Now, one last question. What does it mean to you to be a Laredo College alum today?
What it means to me, it's you're always learning. And there's new courses and classes that you could take that could better your career in law enforcement. For instance, I'm trying to take my EMT. How could that help me? Hey, I'm out in the field. I'm the first one to get there. All right. Yes, stop the bleed, stuff like that. But if you want to go a little bit more in depth, there's always more education out here.
Of course, and we're always here to educate. Yes. So thank you so much, Officer Roberto. Thank you for sharing your experience, your knowledge, all of these stories, and for showing us once again that success starts here at Laredo College. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you everyone for watching, and we'll see you in the next Laredo College Alumni Series.